So, Shirley, we were talking about politics. How is the situation in your country?
Well, you know, I'm pretty much an on-the-fence kind of person, and politics is not my forte. It's not something I like to get into a conversation about. So I'll just change the subject if that's all right. I'd like to tell you a bit about the United Kingdom. You know, I'm from Scotland, and you know, where is Scotland? I get this question so often. Is that in Norway? And is it a region of England? So just to clarify, it's a bit complicated, but in the United Kingdom, the UK, we have Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland. And then people know Great Britain.
Yes, okay. So I do.
Great Britain is Scotland, England and Wales. To give the country its full title, it's the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That's the full title for the UK or Great Britain or GB or England is just one country within four that are united. It sounds really complicated.
It is the biggest one, right?
England is the biggest country with a population of 40 million. Scotland's about 5 million. Now, I correct myself. England is, I think, 49 million. Wales is about 2 million. Northern Ireland about 2 or 3 million. So in total, the whole of the United Kingdom is about 60 million population. How did that come about? Go back 300 years or more even. England and Wales united over 300 years ago, and then Scotland was invited to join the union between England and Wales. Scotland agreed with actually many conditions. For example, one of the conditions was the money, the value of the pound. In Scotland we have Bank of Scotland pounds, and in England it's Bank of England pounds. It's all the same sterling currency of the UK, just it's very difficult in England to spend any money that's got Bank of Scotland written on it, even though it's all the same money. Anyway, that's another issue. So 300 years ago Scotland joined the union between England and Wales to become Great Britain, and then I think early in the 1800s, that's when Ireland joined. Of course now it's just Northern Ireland, and there's other history related to that. We could go on all day talking about how it became Northern Ireland. So when people think of the UK, they generally think the UK is England, but it's actually 4 countries. So.
Shirley, one question, please. I'm a bit confused now. One thing, when about sports, sometimes I can see UK play something with a team. Sometimes you're all divided. Why is that? So we are essentially still 4 countries, 4 separate countries in a United Kingdom. So basically each country's just wanted to keep their national team. In the case of the Olympics, for some reason, and I'm not sure of the exact reason, but the Olympics Committee didn't want 4 divided teams from Great Britain. They wanted a representative of the United Kingdom, so they basically made the rule that Great Britain had to send a team and not teams from the 4 individual countries. So we are a United Kingdom, but we're still very much 4 independent countries, and each country is very proud of their own national teams for football and for rugby and things like that. And it's good that we get together for the Olympics, and we can perform as one united country. Okay, thank you very much.
So, Ginger, I hear you have a new apartment. Yes, it's great. I just moved in last week.
Nice. Where is it?
It's near Victory Monument. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, I do. How do you get to work from there?
Well, I take the SkyTrain.
Oh, that's really convenient.
It is. It's just a 5-minute walk.
Okay. And what's the neighborhood like?
It's a crowded neighborhood. There are a lot of people, lots of cars, just lots of energy in general.
And is it conveniently located?
It's very convenient. It's about a 5-minute walk to the SkyTrain station.
Okay. Why did you decide to move?
Well, it's near a park, and I love living near a park. And it's also just a 5-minute walk to my gym.
And have you made any new friends in that neighborhood?
I have. I've met a couple of people in my apartment building, and I've gotten to know the person who owns a restaurant across the street. There's some great restaurants on the street also.
Oh, what kind of restaurants?
Well, mostly Thai restaurants. A lot of Thai people live in the area. But there's also a Western restaurant and a Japanese.
And is it a safe neighborhood?
I feel very safe there. I've heard that there's some thefts on some of the quiet streets where the motorbikes will ride by and snatch your bag off your shoulder. But I've never actually seen it myself, and I feel very safe sleeping there.
And what about traffic?
There is a lot of traffic.
Oh, no.
Yes, the traffic, and a lot of street traffic too. Lots of people walking on the street, so it can be tough to get around. But there's still a lot of excitement in the area, so it's fun to be out and people watch.
It doesn't sound like a quiet neighborhood.
No, it's not quiet at all, unless you go into the park, and then it's very quiet.
How often do you go to the park?
Almost every night. Every night after work, I'll take a walk in the park, and there's a pond with a water display with music, so it can be very soothing. So what about you? You're still in the same place, right?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Good. How's it going?
Oh, it's great. I'm actually quite satisfied with it now.
Oh, good, because I thought you wanted to move at one point.
Yeah, I thought about it for a while, but then I decided to stay there. There's a lot of good points there. It's a quiet neighborhood. It's not too far from the train, so I can get to work easily. For a while I thought it might be a little too expensive, just slightly above my budget, but I've gotten used to it, and my cats love it. They're really comfortable there. So I think I'm going to stay.
Oh, great. I love your cats. Do they have a lot of room to roam around?
They have enough room. Of course, they were better off in the house.
Right.
I was living there last year. But they've adapted pretty well. So there's a roof there. I can take them up, and they run around. There's plenty of places for them to hide.
Now, what about your neighbors? Are you still living near Matt and
And
Laura?
Laura, yeah.
Right.
Actually, it's really funny. They've been there for about 4 months, and last weekend they invited some people over, about 5 or 6 of their colleagues, and they had a little party. They played poker and had lots of booze around. But unfortunately, the neighbors complained to the landlord, and the landlords were just really angry.
Oh, no.
So they sent them this really harsh email, and they said that they wanted them out by the end of the week. So, yeah, Matt and Laura have been kicked out of the building.
You are kidding.
No.
Wow, and just 5 people over.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6 people, but apparently...
Oh, great. I love your cats. Do they have a lot of room to roam around?
They have enough room. Of course, they were better off in the house.
Right.
I was living there last year. But they've adapted pretty well. So there's a roof there. I can take them up, and they run around. There's plenty of places for them to hide.
Now, what about your neighbors? Are you still living near Matt
Matt
and Laura?
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, it's really funny. They've they've been there for about 4 months, and last weekend they invited some people over, about 5 or 6 of their colleagues, and they had a little party. They played poker and had lots of booze around. But
Oh, great. I love your cats. Do they have a lot of room to roam around?
they have enough room. Of course, they were better off in the house. I was
Right.
living there last year, but they've adapted pretty well. So there's a roof there, I can take them up and they run around. There's plenty of places for them to hide.
Now, what about your neighbors? Are you still living near Matt
Matt
and
and
Laura?
Laura, yeah.
Right.
Actually, it's really funny. They've been there for about 4 months, and last weekend they invited some people over, about 5 or 6 of their colleagues, and they had a little party. They played poker and had lots of booze around.